Welcome, friends, it is I, Scarf, and it's time for the Sunday vlog. And in the background, you're going to see Arena Loki against 5 assassins. Well, 4 assassins and a warrior, because that's what the other team decided to do. And, it actually goes pretty interesting how this fight goes. It really does. I thought, we're going to probably just beat them horribly, but we don't. And so it has a pretty interesting conclusion to this match. And that's good. Pretty exciting fight, so go ahead and check that out. And what to talk about. Okay, so I talked about Nuwa at length already, but now I've played Nuwa. And she's, of course, a very different beast. She was a very ranged beast, and good, of course, ADC god who could just destroy you from ranged in the old version. The new version needs to be in your face, and it's very interesting how that works. So, you gotta use your fog to get in their face, you drop your clay soldiers, and then you blow them up to stun your enemy. All those hurt them really bad, and then you just finish them off. Maybe you root them, or you do your ult or something like that, and it's done. So, like all kits should be, it kind of requires everything you've got to get a kill, and it does happen there. And we're going to see this Monday. We're going to see a Nuwa conquest, and this is playing her at the best I could imagine for sure, which is how I did with her. So, definitely giving my ego here. A lot of spoils right here. At the end of the game, they think Nuwa should be nerfed. And I go, no. It takes a lot of work to get this girl going. I don't know, and I don't think so. So I did a good job if the enemy team thinks Nuwa needs to be nerfed. Nuwa, I think, is in a good spot, but she doesn't need a nerf or a buff. She just needs to be learned how to play. Her skill ceiling's pretty high, and in order to get kills going, she's very high risk and reward in that way, and that you have to get next to people to blow them up, because relying on your enemy to be dumb enough to be near your minions is not so good. Relying on yourself to get in range to get them with your minions, a lot better. But it is a very risky move. Your fog does help you out, but it is very dangerous. And I do an amazing job in Conquest with Nuwa in the mid, and it just, wow. And there's some reasons behind that, what I was fighting and what was going on in the match. Really helped out what I did, but if you want to see some pretty amazing Nuwa play, I finally got one. And it'll be Monday's game. Pretty good. I am tooting it a little too hard, but I can't do her any better, except maybe, actually, you can do it. Of course I could do it better. I could land a lot more things. There are some kills that could have happened if I timed my root better, if I did a lot of things better. So basically, with Nuwa, you hold that root. You just hold that root. You use your abilities to clear, you do not use your basic attack once you have your root ready, or at least you try not to. And then you fog into an opponent, hit them with the fog if possible. If you can't, at least you're closer to them as long as they have an ambiguity where you are. Get the clay minions on them, hit them with all 3 of them with your metal burst, hopefully hitting them with the metal as well, because that will do more damage, and then you root them. And while they're rooted, they can't go anywhere, of course, unless they have a form of escape, and then you just beat the crap out of them, and they should be low enough for you to finish with your ultimate, even at level 1 or 2, maybe. And PSA on that is 100 points of damage is 1 bar, just so you know that. So, Nuwa's ultimate, of course, as scales pretty weak at the start, so you just got to keep that in mind, is when your enemy has 1 bar of HP, first level route will maybe kill them, or maybe get them so low you just go, damn it. Then second level route, and so on and so forth, and I feel like you have to build her power. So at the end of the game, in the Monday game, I get her up to the point that she's doing about 800 damage with her ultimate, and that's a good sized chunk. So if I see you with about 8 or so bars, I know I'm going to kill you, so I do that, unless you're tanky as balls. If you're really tanky, I ain't going to kill you. That's a lesson learned there for sure. And I get that a few times. Nuwa's ultimate, getting people so low but not dead. Because, damn! Her ultimate is not that strong, but you can make it pretty strong, and you can do some amazing things with it. It's really, it can be underwhelming if you don't utilize it correct. Simple as that. If you pay attention to your enemies, if you pay attention to their HP bars, and how low they are, you can use this ultimate very effectively to clean up for your team. And I do it very well in this game. And because of that, it just looks really good. And whether I can do that again, I'll have to find out in the future. But I knew it was all about planning and very much a lot of reaction time things. She's a very complex god. It's simple what you do with her, but it's complex to do it. So, it's an interesting kit, and it just requires a lot of skill, and it's so not for Arena. Holy crap. We're going to see an Arena Nuwa as well, and I do okay in Nuwa Arena. She's definitely a Conquest god. In Arena, you will do alright. You can do a lot of cleanup for your team. You can cause some good trouble for your team. But the problem is you have to put yourself at risk to really get kills going. And in the Arena game, we're going to see how I do it right and how I do it wrong. There's times when I miss the Clay Soldier stun that would have gotten me kills and would have saved my life. This happens many times in the Arena match. You're going to see it. And that's just how it is you gotta land those stun shots. But the other problem is, you have to rely on your minions going where you want them to go, which you cannot control. Minion priority is minions. Like, your clay soldiers priority is minions, then enemy gods. So, sometimes they will go towards minions even if a god's in front of you, and you go, God dang it! And sometimes they'll go for gods instead of minions. It's really weird how it works, because I've seen both happen, so I don't actually know if it's random or what, but wherever they all go, they'll all go together or something. I don't know if it's closest target. Maybe there's a minion closer than the enemy god was. It really feels random sometimes which one they go for, and that can screw you over. Or, I don't know. But there's just a lot to think about when you're fighting. And the even harder thing to do is lining up the shot where you hit them with the stun from your minions, but also hitting them with the metal shot. Because you can do both. You can blow up your minions and hit them with the metal shot for even more damage. It ain't easy to do, but if you can land it, you will do so much damage. It's amazing. You can also fog root and then do the clay soldiers and the explosion. That's another way to do it. I didn't say that earlier. That's the smarter way to do it. But I like using the root post explosion, so that if they escape or something, you root them wherever they go, or you root them before they have any means of moving if they don't have an escape. Or if you're fighting Agni, you just root them. You can root Agni mid-dash. It's amazing when you do that. It's pretty funny. And so, he still goes where he's supposed to go with the dash, but he stops there. So, you're able to catch up and do more damage to him, so that's great. But that's really the way I feel you use, the way I use it is use root to secure, though the other way is to use root to open. Not open, but your root to, root them for your minion combo, which is another way to do it. But that does affect diminishing returns as far as I know, so I don't know. With that, Okay, so when you use root, you could go fog, root, minions into explosion, and then beat them to death. Or you go fog, minions, explosion, then you root them afterwards after they've used their escape if they have one, and then you just finish them off, hopefully close enough to do it. And in that amount of time, you should have enough time to do another metal shot, maybe another fog. Clay soldiers take too long to respawn, so I don't think you'll be able to get that again. But you should be able to get part of your cycle again for that, and maybe get the kill there. At least that's what I'm getting my impression of playing her. Feeling pretty comfortable with her right now. I just gotta play her smarter, and I should be alright. But we're gonna see a pretty good Conquest game with her. And an alright arena game, alright. I gotta make more content. So, I'm gonna be gone from the 12th to the 18th. So I can't make any content. I'm gonna go to Arizona to help my sister move. It's gonna be over 100 and something degrees there. I'm going to melt. It's going to suck. I will not have any internet. There will be no way of doing anything for the channel. So, after Metal Gear Revengeance is done, there's going to be, we're just going to finish off Half Minute Hero, so that's all done. So there's not going to be any LP besides that one from me. And we're going to hopefully get more Smites done by then. I need to make 8 more Smites before I go. Not sure if I can pull that off, but I'm going to try. I don't want to have any missing videos, but it may happen just because of the crunch of time. Don't want it to happen, but it might. There's no way around that, and I'm not happy about that, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Stuff happens, and I don't know, I just want regularity, but I don't know. Sometimes you just can't do a video every day like you want to, and this might happen here. And I don't want that. I don't want that, so I'm going to try. But Jinx doesn't want me to burn out trying to do it, so we'll see what happens. Because I totally will burn out doing it. Those 2 Nuwas took like 11 hours to get. Solo queue is so bad. Oh my god, solo queue is so infuriating. I go mid, I do my job, I do it pretty well, and then the enemy support roams a bunch. They roam all day. Our support doesn't roam at all, or our jungler doesn't gank, or jungler ganks too early and gets killed. There's a game. I'm just doing my lane, I'm doing pretty good. Level 2 Bastet comes over and gets killed by level 4, whatever the hell I was fighting at the time. I think it was Alquang. Like, no! You're a jungler, you're level 2, they're level 4. This was a bad idea for a gank. You should be a couple more levels up before you try that. Also, he was full HP. There was no going there. There was no going on that one. I don't know what you were doing. And they died. And then, so that was one bad example. And then just another one. I'm doing solo lane. I never get any ganks. The enemy's ganking. And it's just what the hell's going on there. And I don't know. I played as best I could yesterday. Getting just these 2 videos. I was on point as best I could be, and it was other people failing me. And this is the thing that sucks about team games is, when it's on you, you can say it's on you. But when it's on other people, it's just infuriating because there's nothing you can do about it. You could try to help out, but maybe you put yourself first and get yourself killed, or your helping out just doesn't actually do anything for the team. Also had a game where just the support died every minute. He just kept dying, and he just so far behind, and what can you do? He was diving towers trying to get kills for things, he was just playing sloppy and bad, and it's just infuriating. It's the worst when you can't blame yourself for a loss, I think. That's the worst, because you can't improve other... Yeah, I can try to improve other people with guide and stuff, but that is a slow kind of thing going on. I can't directly improve someone's gameplay in a match I'm with, because I'm not going to see them again probably, but it's... I'm wording this all very weird, but it's just... I played my heart out yesterday, and I did really well, but things just... So many terrible things, so many just BM, toxic, all these things made so many hours of footage not worth using, because it was either people flipping out at each other every game, or just really bad play going on. The point there was actually... Like, it was like a good first 5 minutes, and then the rest of it was just not worth showing, because people were just falling apart and just yelling at each other and just no good there. And there was just nothing good for that. It was really unfortunate. So we just had these two Nuwas, had some pretty good chances of good stuff, but just couldn't pull it off, just couldn't happen. Or just, I don't know. But what really kills games for me is when people harass each other. What makes me have content crunches is because I have a good game or I have an okay game, but then teammates start screaming at each other, and then it's just, well, this isn't worth showing anymore, because I want to show up how fun Smite is, although it's not always fun, but to have a good time with it. And sometimes we do have games where we keep it despite all the toxicity, because it's only there for like 30 seconds, and then I had the sense to mute it in time. While other times, like, okay, I'll just leave it on, because the jungler's running around a lot. I need to hear their MIAs and stuff. If I don't hear them, I'm going to be in trouble. But there's some games where, like, I'll mute everyone because I got a good handle of things. I'll be alright. But it's case by case on that one. And, I mean, you guys are going to disagree with me a bit on, because I know you will. The Conquest Nuwa, the jungler is giving me crap for not warding mid. And I get the idea is you want me to ward mid so people have an idea where the enemy mid and jungler are, in a way. But for me, it's more of a defensive thing. He's using wards so you don't get ganked. And I'm confident in knowing where the enemy jungler is, so I can rely on that not happening. And I feel like when our jungler gets killed by the other jungler in mid lane, because he didn't see it coming, he should have seen it coming. Because when you're the jungler, you should always know where the enemy jungler is. Whether you have wards or not, you should have an idea where they are, how long it will take them to get to places. That's just how I am. I feel like placement is a very much skill thing. And so because of that, I don't exactly get wards unless I really feel I need to. And I only get wards defensively. My standpoint is, in a way, if I'm doing well, then keep building towards my build. Just keep building towards my build. Make my build stronger and harder so I will kill more and cause victory for my team. If I'm getting killed, then build defensively. Which means if I get ganked, build wards. If I get ganked, build actives. That's the way I play. That's the way I do things. And it's of course not going to be agreed on that that's the best way to do it, but that's the way I do it. That's the way I play my game, because that's the way I feel works. Because if you got the snowball going, keep that snowball going. And if it isn't going, then you build defensive, shorten their gains against you, and then deal with that. And not having wards in the mid might hurt my teammates a little bit, unless I feel they just pay attention. That's the way I feel about it. And I can't rely on that every time for my teammates, because they're not always playing in that way, but I feel like if you're sharp enough, it'll be fine. If you're sharp enough, you'll know where the enemy jungler is, you'll know where the roaming is. As long as everyone's doing their job with the MIAs, it'll be fine. As long as everyone keeps attention to what they're doing, they'll be fine. Sometimes it doesn't happen that way, of course, and then things go bad. But that's my standpoint. Of course, wards do win games. They really do, and late game I gotta work on getting more wards out, but when I'm just getting it going, I'd rather keep building my build to get kills going, and then just keep the enemy down as best I can for as long as I can, and do it that way. But I need to work on it a little bit more. There are times when I'm behind and I'm building my build anyway instead of defensive, so gotta work on defensive building when I need to, and if I need to tone down my aggressive build. But warding in the mid is something I just won't do unless I get ganked. That's just how that is. Because I always keep an eye on that minimap for the enemy jungler. I know where they are most of the time, and I know how long it will take them to get to me. Because I just believe in awareness. That's just how I am. I believe in awareness of the player to just do well. See, winding down here, so we'll see what other games. I'm going to try to get a Zeus arena. I don't like Zeus and Conquest. There are just too many gods of superior clearing. Isis can clear at level 2 pretty fast. You wing gust everything, you basic attack the front line, and you stun ball the back line, and it's all gone, and then your enemy's in trouble unless they're someone who has a good clear as well. Zeus against that ain't gonna beat that. Zeus against Agni, Zeus against Alquang, Zeus against Poseidon. Zeus can't beat those guys. Zeus, I don't like him in Conquest because his clear requires two things. He requires your Chain Lightning and your Detonate. While everyone else, they can either use one thing or two optional. Isis uses two, but because she clears it so fast, she can become a lethal threat. And also, she has the option of hitting you with her stun ball instead of hitting your minions with the stun ball, and that makes her very deadly in that way as well. She's just a dangerous guy to deal with because she can clear so effectively. And then I fought Ra with Zeus, and that didn't go very well either because Ra's got a superior clear again to Zeus. So I don't really like Zeus in Conquest. So I'm going to try to do a Zeus in Arena for sure. Ra, of course, is great in everything. He's great in Conquest and Arena. And I'm going to try to get a Ra America because I haven't done him in a while. He's always fun to play. And we'll see what other else I make. I'm going to probably try to do one more Loki. We see this Loki Arena here, which will be used for the Loki guide footage. I'm doing Loki Solo. Loki Solo is going to be the guide. Loki Solo is a lot easier than Loki Jungle. You don't have to think about as much stuff. And it's Loki Jungle is a little more complicated, so that's for advanced. But for beginners, Loki Solo. You just got to decoy well. You have to poke with your invisibility strikes, because that'll burn them down pretty good. And counter building. And then knowing when to gank. And when to use your ultimate and stuff like that. And there's a standpoint of using your ultimate to open or using your ultimate to finish. And it really depends on how badly you've hurt your opponent. If you're going to take them from 100 to 0, I think you got to just... I really feel like you just do that ultimate because you got to bring them down and then follow them with everything else to kill them or something like that. But then, of course, from 100 to 0, maybe it'd be better to just hit them with your invisible strike and everything else and then finish because they're going to get away. Actually, it depends on the enemy. It really depends on the enemy. If the enemy has the ability to heal or get away quickly, maybe you want to go for... No, I'll think about that, actually. Think about that, how I want to word that whole thing. I think I just said it all backwards, didn't I? Yeah, I said it all backwards. You want to use that ultimate to finish or to open, and it really depends on how quickly you can take your opponent down. If you think you can take your opponent down in that one big combo, you open with the ultimate. If you don't think you can, you think it's a prolonged fight to win it, then of course use your ultimate to finish instead. But you got to get in there with the invisibility strike, which they know is coming because they have to see you coming. Going from the jungle anyway, they hear it, so... Loki has a easy and not easy time in the solo lane, but you can just decoy all day and farm all you want and then late game destroy everybody. You can play him that way as well. You don't have to harass. So it's pretty simple style solo Loki, and depending on your skills how well you do it. And it's more beginner friendly than Jungle Loki for sure, I think. So we're going to go with Jungle Loki, but we're not going to have discussion until I get back from Arizona, so sometime after the 18th of August, we'll do the Loki discussion and do the guide and everything. And I'll be starting school then as well. School starts on the 18th of August, and we'll see how that affects everything. Streaming should be fine the first week. We'll see how heavy homework and everything is, studying and all that. We'll just see how well I handle everything, and how it affects video content and streaming and everything. It should all take a hit a little bit, maybe a lot, we'll see. Really depends on how well I grasp what I'm taking on. And lastly is, I gotta work how I say it in the outro, but we need to start working on mentioning that, if people wanna, if they like the video and they wanna help growth, then to please like and leave comments, stuff like that. Because, that helps with, YouTube ranking, and the higher ranking we are, the more people can see us and they can enjoy our content. Because that's what we want. We want to entertain people. We want more people to be entertained. And that's the way y'all can help. Y'all can help by leaving comments, leaving likes, even dislikes I think puts up the thing. So if you did not like the video, or you like the video, you do that, that's great. There's no meh, so put it as like or dislike, up to you. But either one does help put us in the rankings, so that's good there. Comments help. You know, talk about bananas if you want. Someone's gonna talk about bananas now. But just leave comments. Comments always help, puts us up in the rankings, and then more people can watch us and more people can enjoy us, and then word of mouth can spread. And that's the other thing as well. Just tell your friends about us. Tell whatever random people about us. It helps us out. Because the bigger we get, the more people we can help. And the more people we can entertain. That's always going to be the goal. That will always be the goal at the end of the day, is entertaining people and helping people get better at the game. And for non-Smite stuff, entertaining people, of course. Like, Revengeance was fun. Revengeance is done. We're going to do the DLC stuff. You'll see that. But that's what we're about. We're about growth in a way. We're about entertainment. That's what this channel will always be. It's about entertaining everybody. Having fun. I don't always have fun. You see that. That happens. I get frustrated sometimes. After a couple hours, I'm going to get frustrated when I don't make content. But at the end of the day, it's all about having fun. That's simple as that. So... And the way you can help is that. That's the way you can help, is likes, dislikes, comments. Just help us with the rankings. That's really it. Oh, tell your friends, of course, if you can. And then if you want to help out with hardware, there's, of course, the Patreon or direct PayPal donations. or you can donate games for us to make content on, or in the future we can think of other things for that. You know what I hope? Just end it with this after all that. I want to get big. I want to get ridiculously big in YouTube, because then we could do things. Like, if we could afford it, I would love to make a just, like, it's cool cons happening, but it's some sort of ScarfCon kind of thing going on. Just some gathering and just hang out and just play stuff and just do things. Just hang out with whoever shows up. Hundreds of people, thousands of people is far-fetched yet. It'll be a long time, but dozens of people, then hundreds of people, then thousands, whatever number we get up there whenever we hit the peak, and hopefully a second peak in the future. But whatever size we get, it would be cool to just hang out with everybody. Well, everyone that's possible to hang out with and just have fun. And that'd be great, you know? That'd be something. Do video games, board games, games. Everyone play rock, paper, scissors. Why the hell not? That's a thing. That is a thing. I've seen that. There's a group rock, paper, scissors thing. But, yeah. It would be cool to do giant gatherings. And for those of you who don't like big crowds, smaller gatherings somehow possible as well. But I want to do all of that because I want to see everyone have fun. I want to see everyone laugh, smile, hang out. I want to see all of that. And I want to make that possible. I want to make that happen. And then, of course, we can't do that alone. We make the content to get there, like we make it, but of course there's still word of mouth is important, and just people liking our stuff like that. I think I worded that correctly. Like, there's a lot of factors that factor into how well a channel does. And it's the quality of our work and how much people like it and want to share it and stuff like that. There's so many factors to it. There's also the luck of who sees it when and stuff like that. There's a lot of luck and timing and skill and more randomness involved with all of it. We're just going to keep hitting it. We're going to keep working on it and try to, of course, make it all happen, because I just want to see people smile. At the end of the day, that's it. I want to see people smile. So there we go. That is the vlog. I had fun. Let's work on the outro right here. I had fun from watching, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. And if you like the video or not like the video, please leave a comment and a like or dislike, and it'll help us out it'll help us out. So please do that. And that is the game. I had fun. Hope you have fun watching, and that's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next. Wait a second. I just did that twice, didn't I? Okay. One more try at the outro. And that is the video. I had fun. Hope you have fun watching, and that's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. And if you like the video, please put a like and a comment or a dislike, whatever you feel for us. It'll help us out, and see you next time. That's a little bit better, right? It's a little bit better. We'll see what we do in the future, how we do it, but it's going to take some time to get the outro correctly, but there we go. That's it. See everybody. Have a nice time.